Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare everyone with all your heart. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, we'll say Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki, Shri Srinitai Gauranga Bhagavan Ki, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki, Jainitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 60, text number 57. Dutastvayatmalabhane suvivikta mantra prastapito mayi chirayati shunyameta Matva jihasamidamangamanan yogyam Tiste tatvayvayam pratinandayama Dutastvayatmalabhane suvivikta mantra Prastapito mayi chirayati shunyameta Matva jihasamidamangamanan yogyam Tiste tatvayvayam pratinandayama Dutastvayatmalabhane suvivikta mantra Prastapito mayi chirayati shunyameta Matva jihasamidamangamanan yogyam Tiste tatvayvayam pratinandayama. Please chant. Tutastvayatmalabhane suvikta mantra. Tiste tatvayvayam pratinandayama. Matajis. Dhutastvayatmalabhane suvikta. Word to word meaning, translation, and purport by the disciples of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki, His disciples ki, Jai. Word to word meaning, Dutah, the messenger, Tvaya, by you, Atma, myself, Labhane, for obtaining, Suvivikta, very confidential, Mantra, whose advice, Prasthapita, sent, Mai, when I, Chirayati, delayed, Shunyam, empty, Etat, this world, Matva, thinking, Jihase, you wanted to give up, Idam, this, Angam, body, Ananya, for no one else, Yogyam, suited, this Thetha, may stand, Tat, that, Tvai, in you, Vayam, we, Pratinandayama, respond by rejoicing. Translation. When you sent the messenger with your most confidential plan, and yet I delayed going to you, you began to see the whole world as void and wanted to quit your body, which could never have been given to anyone but me. May this greatness of yours remain with you always. I can do nothing to reciprocate except joyfully thank you for your devotion. Purport. Srimati Rukmini Devi had no intention whatsoever of accepting any other husband but Lord Krishna. As stated in her message to the Lord, Bhagavatam 10:52-43, Yarihi ambujaksha na labheya bhavat prasadam jahyam asun vrata krishan shata janma bhisyat. If I cannot obtain your mercy, I shall simply give up my vital force, which will have become weak from the severe penances I will perform. Then, after hundreds of lifetimes of endeavor, I may obtain your mercy. The Srimad Bhagavatam firmly establishes the unique glories of Queen Rukmini Devi. The verses 55 and 56 also. Natva drisham pranayinim grihanim griheshu pashyami mani niyaya swavivaha kale praptan ripanna viganaya raho haro me prasthapito dvija upashruta satkathasya. In all my palaces I can find no other wife as loving as you, O most respectful one. When you were to be married, you disregarded all the kings who had assembled to seek your hand, and simply because you had heard authentic accounts concerning me, you sent a Brahmana to me with a confidential message. भ्रातुर्विरूपकरणं युजिनिर्जितस्य प्रोद्वाह पर्वणि च तद्वदमक्षगोष्ठ्या दुःखं समुत्थमसहो अस्मद्योगभीत्या नैवा ब्रवीहि किमपि तेन व्ययं जितस्ते. When your brother, who had been defeated in battle and then disfigured, was later killed during a gambling match on Aniruddha's wedding day, you felt unbearable grief, yet out of fear of losing me, you spoke not a word. By this silence, you have conquered me. Purport. Here, Lord Krishna refers to an event that will be described in the next chapter. Thus, Krishna's talks with Rukmini must have taken place after the marriage of Aniruddha. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुन् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारि. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्वसे नमः. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु समत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते. तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. नीलाचल निवासाय त्याय परमात्मने बलभद्र सुभद्राभ्यां जगन्नाथाय ते नमः. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam, pangum langayate garam, yat kripa tamaham vande, Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. I'll speak in English because what I want to convey, I think I won't be able to do it good in Hindi. So I seek the blessings of all the devotees present here that we can speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. And these are very, very beautiful verses because the Lord is actually present with his greatest of the devotee, Mother Rukmini, and he is having loving exchanges. And what is happening within these loving exchanges is we are able to understand what is the heart of a devotee. Jai Shri Nitai Gauranga Bhagwan ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Through these verses that we are reading, we are able to understand what is the heart of a devotee. And when a devotee offers devotion, what is the heart of the Supreme Lord? So these conversations are speaking the hearts of devotee and the Supreme Lord as a prime focus. And Srimad Bhagavatam is said as Paramahamsa Samhita, which basically means it's a book that's a subject matter for the Paramahamsas, the greatest connoisseurs of love. Sannyasi Shiromani, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Shukadeva Goswami. And these personalities relish Srimad Bhagavatam. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes to Gadadhar Pandit and discusses Srimad Bhagavatam, the episodes of Dhruva, Prahlad, it is said that they discuss the same episode again and again and again. Right? So the storyline is very clear. The moment you say Prahlad Maharaj, the whole episode is there in your recorded memory. Hiranyakashipu came, he did penance, this happened, that happened, this happened, this happened. They said, what's new? So what is it that what is it that Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit are relishing and crying tears of ecstasy that Bhagavatam's ink is getting blurred by that? They are relishing the devotion, the prema that is coming from the heart of a devotee and how the Lord reciprocates with his love. That is what you relish. So it is said Srimad Bhagavatam is a collection of love stories. And the greatest demand of everyone's heart is love. Right? So here when we read Bhagavatam, when we try to understand this loving exchanges, that will nourish our heart very greatly. So here in this conversation, we see that Lord Krishna is trying to induce Mother Rukmini to become angry. He is expecting her to also express her emotions like he would expect from Satyabhama. But to the amazement of Lord Sri Krishna, when Krishna induces Mother Rukmini to become angry by saying that maybe you have made a wrong choice to have me as your husband, Mother Rukmini, just a thought that maybe Krishna will be lost, immediately makes us lose sight of everything and she goes blank and becomes unconscious. Krishna did not expect Rukmini to become unconscious. And when Rukmini gets up, she has recorded every single statement of Krishna. And after expressing her emotions, she gives answers very befitting. how I was not wrong in my choice. I did not make any choice in any madness. I made the most wise choice. And by the way, if somebody is getting married, we always see it takes a lot of effort of so many people to find the right choice, right match, and various other things. This is one choice you spend really a lot of energy, right? So Mother Rukmini says, I have spent a lot of energy. And then after Rukmini speaks, Krishna speaks his heart. That is so special, right? So in these three verses, this is like oceanic love, but by the little efforts that I could put, we will try to speak about qualities that actually charm the heart of the Lord. As devotees, we are trying to become lovers of God, isn't it? There is a poem you must have read, I think it's from the Christian school of thought, Be Good Anyways. How many of you gone through? Be good anyways. If you're kind, people will exploit you. But be kind anyways. If you're very this, then people may hate you or envy you, but still be that anyways. So that it's like a anyways poem. So the beautiful part of that anyways poem is in the conclusion. He says, why do you need to be these qualities anyways? Because it was never before you and the world. The stage is not before you and the world. It was always between you and God. And God is the only person you need to impress in all your activities. The world, if you try to impress, will become envious and would like to press you and make you non-existent. Right? So in this world, if you try to impress people, they will not love you. Sorry to say this. You will be beaten up. So in this world, that anyways poem gives a very beautiful message that whatever you do, it's between you and God, and it's only God who is to get impressed by our activities. And the purpose of bhakti, we also understand, is to develop our love for Krishna. So one may ask a question, does Krishna translate my devotional activities and know about what I'm thinking? And the answer to that, Prabhupada says, Govindam Adi Purusham. He says Adi Purush. He says Krishna is residing in the heart of everyone as Paramatma. And he has seen you for millions of lifetimes. Every moment, he can translate your thought, your intent and emotion and commotion. Everything he can know. You can make a fool and muff of anyone, but there's one personality you can never bluff. Because he can read your mind. And that's Krishna. So Prabhupada says Krishna knows each and every intent and thought of the living entity since the time he has come here. Right? So nobody can give you better guidance than him. The most experienced person. Prabhupada says, why should we take Krishna's recommendation in Gita? Because he is the most experienced person. If you want to go to a doctor, you check कितने साल का experience, कितना कुछ किया है. 50 साल का experience है, 40 साल का experience है. But Krishna, unlimited experience. And experience with others? No, with you. Moment to moment he has seen, what you do and what you reciprocate. So there cannot be a person who can know your heart more than anyone else. So bhakti is about making Krishna feel about your intent. So the first verse that we are talking about is speaking about Krishna telling Rukmini that you had so many options. You had so many kings. This is maybe a little position different from all other marriages Krishna had, right? Like Krishna was very much there and he gets married. But Rukmini was given a lot of opportunities to choose so many matches. He can give me this much happiness. The other guy can give me so much happiness. And so much and so much. So many options of sense gratification. But what does Rukmini do? She only chooses Krishna. So it is said, devotee is like a crane. Crane. Devotee is like a crane. You know, Sthita pragya ka bhasha. The language of a devotee. The language of a devotee is that he is a crane. Language means how do you communicate with the world? How do you communicate with the world? That is the language of a devotee. Like we speak in the language which we are comfortable. So how does a devotee's language is? He said it's like a crane. How does a crane behave? It stands on one leg. It may do so much tapasya. Alright? Seeing the tapasya and inactivity of the crane, slowly, all fishes think, no issue. Let's go. They all go, and the crane does not budge an inch. So when the small fishes go, the news go to the fish world. Even the big ones say, safe zone. And then the biggest ones come out. And when the biggest ones come out, the self-meditating sage of a crane immediately becomes enthusiastic and gets the grab. That is a devotee. Not about fish eating. A devotee lets all the objects of sense gratification the world is communicating to him. Do this, you'll be happy. Do this, you'll be happy. Know this, you'll be happy. Maybe do this, you'll be happy. So those fishes are going one after the other, one after the other. And the devotee is like, am I missing something? Ye chala gaya, to next aayega kya? वो गया तो वो आएगा. Devotee, let go, let go, let go, let go. प्रभु जी सब छोड़ दिया. होगा ना. And finally, the big fish of Krishna comes and devotion comes. That time a devotee grabs it. So Krishna says that is the language of a devotee. So many thoughts of sense gratification, enjoyment pouring into the devotee's consciousness like rivers into the ocean. But the devotee is fixed. Ananya, na anya, only Krishna. So Lord Krishna is congratulating Rukmini that you did not choose anyone but me. Right? And Krishna says, I am very happy and I am very grateful. Why? Because you chose me. And the nature of gratitude is you always appreciate the good activities of others for you. That is called Krita Agya. You're always Agya. Agya means conscious of others' activities in your life. That's called gratitude. And gratitude is said to be the beginning of love. The beginning aspect. When we remember, appreciate the good activities people have done for them. So Krishna is remembering. So the quality of Krishna is, he is Bhavagrahi Janardhana. So Bhagavatam explains, what does it mean by Bhavagrahi Janardhana? Bhavagrahi Janardhana means, when you perform a leela, when a devotee performs a leela or an activity, Krishna takes the essence of the devotee's mind. That is called Bhavagrahi Janardana. So many things a devotee may do. Some performance here, something there. Krishna is Bhava. He sees the whole activity and sees how much devotion for me was there. He says, that's what Krishna takes and says, Aage kaha aar. He just doesn't get carried away by anything else. He is not about performance. He is not about erudition. He is not about scholarship. He is not about influence. He is only about essence, which is devotion. So, if you want to develop love for someone, you should know how does that personality think. He says he is Bhavagrahi Janardana. And there's a beautiful episode from Chaitanya Bhagavat, which we can speak. I'll just read out. This is Mahaprabhu meeting Ishwarapuri. Gadadhara Panditera Apanartha Krita Punti Padayena Nama Krishna Lilamrita. Gadadhar Pandit became a student of Ishwarpuri, and Ishwarpuri had written Shri Krishna Lilamrit, and seeing Gadadhar's being worthy of devotion, he taught him Krishna Lilamrit. Padaya padiya thakur sandhya kale Ishwarpuri ra namaskari bare chale. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, after finishing his studies, went in the evening to offer obeisances to Ishwarpuri. Prabhu dekhi Shri Ishwara Puri hara sita Prabhu hena na jane na tabu bada prita. Ishwarpuri was very happy to see Nimai. Although he did not know that his Supreme Lord, he felt love for him. Hasiya bole na tumi parama pandita ami puthi kariyachi krishnera charita. He says, you are parama pandita and I have written koriyachi krishnera charita. So what? Sakala boliba kotha thake kona dosha ihate amare bada parama santosha. Oh Chaitanya, oh Nimai, you are so intelligent, so scholarly. If you tell me the faults in my writings, I will be most satisfied. Parama santosha. And that's what Mahaprabhu says. Prabhu bole bhakta vakya krishnera varnan ihate ye dosha dekhi sei papi jan. Whoever finds faults in devotee's description of Lord Krishna is a sinful person. So this job profile is only not good. Bhaktera kavitya yete mate kena nae sarvatha krishnera priti tahata nishchay. Krishna is pleased with devotee's poetry, even though improperly composed. Why? Because he is Murkha bole Vishnaya Vishnave bole dhira Dui vakya parigraha kore Krishna vira. An educated person may chant Vishnaya, sober person Vishnave. The Supreme Lord Krishna accepts both when they chanted with devotion. And he says, Murkho vadati Vishnaya, dhiro vadati Vishnave, ubhayostu samam punyam, bhavagrahi janardhana. Ubhayostu samam punyam. Erudite scholarly mention and mention with broken language and grammar. Bhavagrahi puts both on the panel. Devotion element. That's recorded and sent. So Mahaprabhu says, Ihata ye dosha dekhi tahare se dosha bhaktera varnana matra krishnera santosha. One who finds faults with a devotee is himself at fault. This is who saying? Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu says, if you can expertly find a fault in a devotee, you are at fault. And he says, for a devotee's description are meant only for the pleasure of Krishna. So why a devotee's activity has no fault? Because it is for devotion to Krishna. That's why. The purpose of creation is so that a devotee can express his devotion for the Lord. If that is done right, everything else is okay. Ateva tomara se premera varnan ihata dushibeka kona sahasika jan. Who will dare to find fault with your devotional description of Krishna's pastimes? So this is the quality of Krishna. He is Bhavagrahi Janardhana, and he is going to look at devotion, and he is very happy when you exclusively choose him. You have so many options and you choose Krishna. This Krishna loves it. He loves. Allurements come and Krishna sees, what will he choose? Will he go for advantage? Will he go for profit? Will he go for worship? Will he go for love? He went for love. 100 out of 100. So Mother Rukmini is thanked by Krishna that I'm so grateful to you that you chose me. I'm very grateful. In all my palaces, I can find no other wife as loving as you. Right? So Krishna always sees good qualities in his devotees. He's only searching devotion element. So this is the first aspect we can learn from the verse number 55. Right? So he says, when you were to be married, you disregarded all the kings. Raho haro me prastapito dvija. And what did you do, Mother Rukmini? Rukmini. You sent a Brahmana with your confidential message just by hearing my narrations. So this is very interesting to maybe make a mention. Many times we may have a thought, the Supreme Lord does not come, he doesn't reciprocate, or the great devotees don't come and reciprocate. So how are we sure what's happening? But mind you, that looks to be the same situation of Rukmini. Rukmini only gets to hear the name and the pastimes. And she has to give her heart to Krishna and not give heart to anyone else. So in one lecture, His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj was saying that similarly, in our journey of life, if we can end our life in such a way that we only gave our heart to Krishna and no one else, just by being convinced of the narrations, true narrations heard from great souls. We have heard true narrations from the great souls, and by that, we are ready not to make any choice other than Krishna for a lifetime. He says, then Nagari Vahane, Krishna will come on Garuda, like he came on chariot with Daruka. He will come. Krishna's style is similar. Only his timing is different. His style is the same. You will see, you could read pastimes and recount his activities. He has the same style. And he doesn't change the style because he wants to make the devotee, this is how I work. If he keeps changing style, how will the devotee figure out what to do? So he has the same style. But what is the difference? The timing. When he will do for whom what. But by the way, that's the excitement of life. That's the adventure of life. Right? If you can predict what is the excitement. Sometimes someone watches an interesting movie and it's very suspense. And you come down to a person who says, I watched the movie, it's a suspense. And you know what is the suspense? He says, don't tell me. Vishnu, Vishnu, Vishnu. I want to have the fun myself. Right? That's excitement of watching. If someone tells you the whole movie, do you know who is the villain and who killed him? So from beginning, the rasa is gone. You want to watch a movie as if fresh. So Krishna is very kind. He can play, what do you call, n number of devotees, n number of movies going on. Same scene, same stage, same climatic conditions, and everybody is watching a different movie in life. Sometimes people ask us, I think many of you would have a question, प्रभु जी आप मूवी नहीं देखते, आप टीवी नहीं देखते, मतलब आपके जीवन में मजा क्या है? चाय नहीं पीते, कॉफी नहीं पीते, टीवी नहीं देखते. धनबाद में जा रहा था, एक बहुत ही वरिष्ठ माता जी ऑपोजिट में बैठी थी, तो कुछ भी बेचने वाले आ रहे थे, सबको मैं ना ना ना, नहीं थी. And that lady was thinking, no. Then she said, आप चाय पीते हैं? No. कॉफी? No. टीवी देखते हैं? No. मूवी देखते हैं? No. She became emotional. She became emotional. बोले बैंक अकाउंट है? बोले no. The last thread of attachments. And she became emotional. Beta, what is your life? What is excitement in your life? You know, and I was thinking the same about her. So, I always have this thought. You don't need to watch a movie because your life has become one. You don't need to watch a movie because your life has become one. Krishna is completely expert in creating some anticipations. Some things not working. Some things working. Enough working so that you don't give up working. Right? You call so many times, he doesn't come, but by the time you're leaving, they hear the call and say, so what is the matter? We are on. Krishna will create exams, but he doesn't want you to fail. You know, we have experiences of that. So Krishna's nature and style is this. So this is one aspect we can learn of Krishna's personality. The second aspect, I mean to say, there's unlimited aspects. Bhratur virupa karanam yujinirjitasya. Then Krishna is speaking to Rukmini, oh Rukmini, your brother had been defeated in battle. That's fine. But I disfigured him. You loved him so much, and I disfigured. And if someone you love and that person is hurt, it gives you pain. A lot of pain. The parents will feel more pain when the children are harmed. Prodvaha parvani chatad vadamaksha goscham. He said, you went to a gambling match on Anuruddha's wedding with the granddaughter of Rukmi, right? That was a marriage ceremony, and Rukmi came with his friends to do a dice game, a gambling game with Balaram. And Balaram is a very, simple personality. So they thought, Krishna ke saath to, wo to chaliya hai. Inke saath कहते हैं. And they played and cheated him. दिन दहाड़े चोरी बोलते हैं. बलराम जी said, मैं इतना भी बेवकूफ नहीं. Okay, I am simple, but not so much also. And the oracle also said, Balram has won. He said, I am proven. निकाला गदा, जो हंसे, उसकी आजीवन हंसी निकाल दी. और रुक्मी को तो clean bowled. Took a club and blow his head and swaha. And this is like the grandfather left before the marriage. So he says, Dukham samuttham asaho asmat ayoga bhutya. He says, unbearable grief was in your heart, disfigured and killed. But it is said, Mother Rukmini didn't speak a word. Because she had fear, I will lose Krishna. I will lose my love for him. I'll lose Krishna. I will not speak a word. Naiva bravhi kimapi tena 𝐿𝐿𝐍. This silence of Rukmini, has conquered me. Rukmini not reacting and being silent. He said Krishna can measure the volcano eruption. And still Mother Rukmini didn't react out of love for Krishna. He said, your not reacting me has conquered me. And that is why all the qualities what devotees are supposed to have are the qualities what Krishna gets impressed by. In Varnashram also. So the quality that can conquer a person, like a husband gets conquered, a guru gets conquered by the shyness of a disciple. Shyness. Shyness is the quality that conquers the husband, conquers the guru. Or conquers means wins the heart. Being outrighteous, the modern culture's language, makes things go right, but doesn't get the affection to go right. A Vedic culture, shyness may not make things go right, but the affection goes right. And human beings are very sensitive beings. They can catch things which you don't speak. And usually, they don't catch the things which you speak. What an amazing aspect, right, in communication. What you speak, people don't catch, but they want to catch something else. That's human psychology. So Krishna says, Rukmini, I caught. You could have erupted, but you didn't. Your shyness. That is the quality that conquers the Lord is humility. Humility means you have the power to set it right, but you don't because you love. It's easy for me not to cooperate because I have an opinion, I am qualified, I can do my way. I don't need you, but I will still cooperate because it's for love of Guru, Prabhupada and Krishna. That's why I'll cooperate. Not because I can't do it on my own. My cooperating with you is not my weakness. It is my strength, or it's my effort to love. So His Holiness Radhanath Maharaj says that humility is the quality that will pull devotion from the deep trenches of the heart. Like our dormant affection is somewhere deep, deep, deep in the heart. देखने से भी नहीं दिखेगा. But humility is a quality that has the power that it can pull that devotion right from the depths of the trenches, because you can only be humble, only cooperate if you love someone. If you don't love someone, if you don't feel to give up your comfort for someone, this cooperation and love can never come out. You have to love someone, or you have to practice to love someone. Right? That is how our activities in this world are capable of inducing love, if you do it right. So shyness is that quality that conquers. We can talk a lot, but our time is over. I just want to make a mention of the third thing I wanted to speak, and we will conclude. The second thing which can touch the heart of Krishna is shyness, humility. Right? Many things happen in life. Many things happen which we feel seems unfair. Many things happen in life shouldn't have happened that way. But if that comes in my way of developing my love for Krishna, Guru and Vaishnavas, go side. I don't care. Matlab, easier said than done. Philosophy of Shastra has a very personal connotation. It is for our own application. And the third quality, which I will just mention and conclude, is Dutas Tvayatma Labhane Suvivikta Mantra. He says you send the Duta with the most confidential plan. Prasthapito Maichira Yati Shunyam Etat. And when you send the Duta, Krishna says, I delayed to go. We read in the Shastras that Krishna didn't delay. He went immediately called Daruka, went in the night, didn't discuss, didn't spend time. But according to Krishna in his heart, the timing Rukmini expected, Krishna went after that. Because he wanted to test the dam of Rukmini's limit and see how she will respond. So late hona is also a very subjective thing. If the other person cares and you care, that's where the reciprocation happens. The other person doesn't care. I don't know if you're able to catch what I'm saying. When you do something, it depends on the limits you and the other person has. And when you reciprocate, that's the relationship. Matlab, love is very subtle. And we, in material world, are very gross. That's why we need to chant Hare Krishna. To not identify with our body and get into our spirit self, which is very sukshma. To the extent we are gross, we will only hurt everyone. And to the extent we are our own nature of the soul, we can be lovable. That's why it's so important to chant attentively. If you want devotees to love you, Krishna to love you, Guru to love you, I think I should really chant properly. He says, I delayed. And it said, Rukmini, what happened to your consciousness? You saw the world. Shunyaitam idam jagat sarvam govinda virahena me. But what was your thought? He said, but still, O Krishna, I will wait. You delay, I will wait. I will wait. I will do austerity all my life. And still you don't come. I will do it for hundreds of lifetimes. And Krishna says, Ananya yogyam tisteta tatvai vayam pratinandayama. I can do nothing to reciprocate except joyfully thank you for your devotion. All that I can do to you, Rukmini, thank you. That's it. Nothing more I can do for you, for your devotion for me. So he says, the third quality is patience, tolerance, forgiveness. Taroriva sahishnuna. Right? When Krishna doesn't reciprocate in time, he wants to test our love. Are we ready to tolerate? Are we ready to forgive? Are we ready to be patient? Right? And Rukmini was ready. And Krishna says, you qualify. And Krishna didn't congratulate then. He's congratulating today. He's remembering every single thing Rukmini did and congratulating today. That means Krishna never forgets anything we do. But he has a timing. He has the timing. He is the most grateful person. He has the time. So very interesting. Krishna is Rasaraja, Rasika Shekhara. By timing, by situation, he makes rasa come out. He doesn't like anything without rasa. Do something, kuch ras aayega. Ras matlab prem ka adan pradan hoga. So Krishna in the life of a devotee will always act so that there is rasa. Obviously, this is Krishna's tactics. We have to behave ourselves as devotees, not create rasa for every situation. How we are supposed to deal with devotee, that's a different subject matter we can talk about. Right, of how it works. But this is Krishna's heart. So by reading this Paramahamsa Samhita, you can know what sits in the heart of Krishna. And how does a devotee and Krishna relate? Right? So this is a very internalized aspect of deep devotion being cultivated by Mother Rukmini. So we are very fortunate by the Acharya's writings to get a glimpse of how the modus operandi of love work. Modus operandi means tarika. ये प्रेम की शैली कैसी है, इसकी भाषा क्या है, ये चलती कैसे है? I think Jiva Goswami says love is like a snake. You know, it's not straight. It's like it's curving. आ रहा है जा रहा है बट सांप है. जय श्रीमद् भागवतम की, श्री कृष्ण भगवान की, श्री रुक्मिणी देवी की, श्रील प्रभुपाद की, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की, जय निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे. हरि हरि बोल. समवेत गौर भक्त